Hi, this is Brian, and I'm all by myself tonight because Susie is preparing for Susannii is preparing for her own talk where she wants to focus on what she had learned from her near-death experience. So I am going to focus on a couple of other things tonight. Um, I'm thinking three things specifically: meditation and the value of meditation, um, something called self-inquiry, and then briefly a related subject, which is accepting things as they are. And these are all tools for peace, very powerful tools for peace. So let's talk about meditation for a minute. um, Meditation is basically learning to delve into the silence within your own heart. And there's a lot of different varieties of meditation out there. The one that I learned to teach was called Transcendental Meditation. Back in the early 70s, I became a teacher. Had a teacher, very profound human being. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi was his name. And learned a lot from him. Mostly it was the practice of meditation that I did. In the 70s, a lot of long courses of meditation um, that helped me understand what it was all about as a tool for peace. It is basically in all forms of meditation as I see it, are ways of you just quieting your mind so that that mental chatter, that outward movement of the mind can stop and you can just go within yourself and find what's there. And what's there is very quiet. And in that quiet is something that he used to call the source of consciousness. If you can go deep enough into that source of consciousness, which he called pure consciousness or pure creative intelligence. And that's a place of ultimate peace. So the more that you can go in there, the more you bring that out every time you open your eyes. Another thing that happens is that when you meditate, your body relaxes very deeply. And so you are able to release stress, release old patterns from the past, old things that you're hanging on to, even physiologically, that you may not even be conscious of. And it all expands awareness. Expanding awareness is the name of the game. So whether it be transcendental meditation, TM, or something that really works for you, I really, really would suggest that everybody learn meditation and practice it and give it a good try. There will be obstacles. Those obstacles are usually coming from the mind because the mind wants to keep you going like this all the way, all the time, going out, looking for some answer in your head. It's not where answers lie. Where answers lie is way down deep in your heart. And that's where you go in meditation. So it's really good stuff. It's a powerful tool for peace, for inner peace and joy and calm and all that. The other arena that I want to talk about is something that is as powerful, I think, and is important if you really want to learn if you want to learn peace. And it's something that comes in the category of self-inquiry. And what is self-inquiry? I first learned mostly about self-inquiry when I felt an impulse to go to southern India and learn, you might say, learn energetically from a teacher there. He had died in 1950, so I didn't see him. But I spent some time on the mountain that he lived in and in his ashram, and I studied his works, his teaching. Ramana Maharshi was his name. And his whole thing was find out who you are. Seek who the I is within you. Who am I was his, you might say, mantra or question that he suggested everybody look into. So self-inquiry has got a lot of different levels to it. One of the levels that we can work on right here, right now, is finding out who you really are. And And that means questioning everything, questioning what you assume to be true about yourself right now. And when I say, who are you? Finding out the deeper elements of who you are. You need to start with the assumption that maybe you don't know everything there is to know about you. Maybe there's parts of you that are unexplored, and it would be really valuable for you to explore them and find out a little bit more about who you are. And that can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And like meditation, which takes you into deeper and quieter levels of your own awareness, self-inquiry can do the same thing. And self-inquiry can eventually get you to the point where you break down all the illusions about who you are, all the non-truths about who you are, and get you to a place where you're more internally free because you're less tied up by illusionary, if that's a real word, ideas about not only who you are, but what life is about. See, we're all taught, we're raised up to believe certain things about life, certain things that we're fed in our educational system. It says, well, it's this way. Science says it's this way. Science is the new God, you see. And so science says it has a way of exploring the world, which is not a bad thing. It's given us a lot of benefits. But science tends to come from here, and truth tends to come from here. We got into this last time. And when I talk about self-exploration, or asking the question, who am I? We're talking about getting into deeper levels of here. And it can go very, very deep. A lot of life in this world that we go through, that we experience, is illusion. We tend to think, we want to grasp onto something real and something truthful. But the problem is we've been raised with so many untruths, and they've been drummed into us for so long, and they're repeated by all those around us, that we start to lose touch with what's real. I remember the one thing that I used to tell my son when he was a teenager was, question everything. And that's been like a mantra for me. Actually, ever since I was in college, I can remember the line from Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living. And it was a credo for me. I've not always been true to it, but I keep coming back to it somehow. Because in all of our educational systems, and in all of what we learn in religion, in school, from parents, from family, from government, etc., is all based upon largely not seeking the truth, because we're easier to be guided, you might say, and channeled into being good little citizens by going along with the system. So I just want to suggest to you that if you're looking for real deep inner truth, that you really start looking for, that really start taking a different kind of look, where you open your eyes more, question everything around you, question everything within you, find out deeper truths about who you are. Look into your emotions. Be willing to be vulnerable. Be passionate about what's real, finding out what's real. And it will pay off in spades. It's good stuff. The one other arena that I wanted to get into briefly is, as a tool for peace, is learning to accept things as they are. everything within and without, other people, other situations, the government, etc., everything in life. If we can just learn to let go and accept things as they are, we can find an immense amount of peace. Whenever we find ourselves in resistance to what is, we are putting a judgment on it that we know better, and chances are we don't. So whatever's going on around us, inside us, if we can just learn to accept things as they are. From a religious standpoint, you could say, making the assumption that God knows what he's doing, and that the way that life is unfolding is based upon cosmic realities that we cannot possibly understand. So the more that we can accept things as they are, the better we get to feel inside, because we can relax. Peace is largely about relaxation. Yeah, so that's a lot to get into, and I'm sure some of my best and most inspired thoughts will come after we finish this video, but in the meantime, I think this has been enough. Thank you. Hopefully something in here has been a benefit, and we will see you next time.